the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Okay, wake the streets up. Okay, come on. Okay, wake the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Come on, wake the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. You already know it's time to get up and tune into your daily BossFM morning news with your favorite, Ken Nicole. So now I have some unsettling news and updates on the Breonna Taylor case. As we all should know, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly, and Miles Cosgrove are the three cops that were involved with the death of Breonna Taylor and have really faced zero consequences since the incident. Well, on Wednesday, one of the three cops, Brett Hankinson, was indicted on 3 charges of first-degree wanton endangerment. Brett Hankinson is not being directly charged for the murder of Breonna Taylor. In fact, in the words of Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly, and Miles Cosgrove were justified in their use of force the night of Breonna Taylor's death. So this basically means that Hankinson is being charged with endangering other residents. On top of this, Cosgrove and Mattingly are still on administrative reassignment. The protesters in Louisville have not let up and plan to continue their efforts as nonviolently as possible. It's just hard to say how peaceful this will be with the new hearing, so I'm just going to send my prayers to Louisville, as always. All right, and so you know how every tragedy is always honored and celebrated to the highest degree. And then when it comes to slavery, it's always, oh, just forget it. It was so long ago. Well, it seems like even to this day, we're still having to explain that we cannot simply forget slavery. Granted, we do have a month to celebrate Black history, and I'm not saying that it's pointless to do so, but it's like we're still dealing with the same issues. COVID has now been categorized as the 4th mass casualty event in U.S. history. But we all know how Black Twitter works. So someone made a tweet referencing to COVID being the 4th mass casualty event in U.S. history and said, slavery enters the chat. Now, I truly don't know what it is when we bring up slavery, why they're still expecting us to brush it under the rug, yet we as a people are actually still looking for reparations. To make this statement even more comical, I assume this user was trolling, but they replied to the tweet saying 388,000 surviving slaves, assuming a 30% death rate, puts America's share of the death toll, the transatlantic trade slate, at a little less than 200K. Sir, really? I mean, where did you pull that number from? Not to mention there were casualties before the colonizers could actually reach U.S. land. Slaves were jumping ship. Slaves were not even making it to the ship from their homeland when they were being held captive. And that's just to name a few incidents. You know, I understand the crisis of the pandemic, and I don't think that we should just desensitize the issue when comparing it to slavery. But, can we not even, compare the numbers right now? That, it's just, what purpose does it do? But in some more Black news, as of Wednesday, yet another company has decided to do a rebranding following criticism for racism in their logo. A while ago, Aunt Jemima Quaker Oats, the famous pancake and syrup company, vowed to change the look of Aunt Jemima. And to be honest, she did look a little slavey, I should say. So now Uncle Ben's rice brand will do the same. Instead of it being Uncle Ben's, it will now be called Ben's Original. Now, I just talked about this last night, and I hate to sound like a party pooper, but I'm going to be that person today. I just don't think that there is anything special about changing logos and painting streets and all this other symbolic stuff these major companies are doing. Don't really have ties to our justice system. I also understand that it takes time to change laws and that it won't happen overnight. But these laws that we're talking about are laws that should have been changed years ago. So I feel no gratitude about Uncle Ben's picture being removed from the logo, unless it sparks political change, but I will remain on the bench about it. Okay, so as you guys all know, it's Thursday, meaning it is Throwback Thursday. And this is where we take our time to reflect on trends in music, whatever else you can think of in these past few years. So last week, I talked about some things that happened around this time in the 20th century in hip hop. And I'm going to do the same thing today, except for the 20th and something from the 21st century. So in hip hop history, on September 23rd, 2003, Outkast released their 5th album, Speakerboxx/The Love Below, that featured one of their classics, The Way You Move. Also in 1998, on September 22nd, Trick Daddy released his 2nd album called www.thug.com. My favorite song on there is another club classic featuring Trina called Now. And finally, in Black history, civil rights activist Mary Church Terrell was born on September 23rd in 1925. She was one of the first Black women to obtain a college degree from Oberlin College. She was also a founding member of the National Association for Colored Women and a charter member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So, as you can see, she was very involved and influential. So, happy belated birthday to the late Mary Church Terrell. All right, everyone, that is it for your Thursday morning news. Please make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. for some more news updates with Boss FM. And don't forget to tune in later on today at 8:30 p.m. for some more entertainment news with Boss FM. And if you like to rewatch our shows, of course, as always, they will be available for replay on our Boss FM app and on all of our social media platforms. So thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Happy Thursday. It's your girl, Ken Nicole. I'm signing off. Have a great day.
Okay.